Subversion is the term. It usually is explained as a part of activity to destroy.
What if I told you that your favorite social media platforms,
you have different stakeholders and different people who can make these decisions, and it's not just like one private company that's making decisions even about what just happens on our platform,
might not be as independent as they seem?
It has been almost 1 year since the first bombshell Twitter files. Looking back now, and my questions are for Mr. Taibbi and Mr. Schellenberger, what was the most alarming thing that you came across during your review of internal Twitter documents?
Imagine for a moment that the tweets you read, the posts you like, and the videos you share are all being subtly shaped by forces you can't see.
Like, there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York
we
Post.
had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
Forces that might even include your own government.
So we took a different path than Twitter. Basically the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us.
Sounds like a plot from a spy thriller, right?
What I'm going to talk about now has absolutely nothing to do with the cliché of espionage.
Today we're diving into a theory that draws eerie parallels between a covert Cold War operation and the way modern social media platforms operate today. It's a story that involves secret government pressure.
But internal documents show Twitter often working at the government's insistence to punish those who are off the COVID narratives, even if it meant rejecting truthful information.
High-profile confessions.
I think the most alarming thing that we saw was the regular stream, organized stream of communication between the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the largest tech companies in the country.
And legal battles over free speech.
This itself is evidence of the problem that this hearing was convened to address. This is an attempt to censor a censorship hearing.
Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA?
Let's start by taking a trip back in time to the Cold War era. The year is 1948, and the U.S. government, in a bid to control the narrative in the media, launches a covert operation called Operation Mockingbird.
Who are contributing to a major circulation American journal. We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
The CIA starts recruiting journalists and infiltrating major news organizations to shape public opinion in favor of U.S. policies. This operation goes on for decades, hidden in the shadows, influencing the way the public perceives world events. Fast forward to today, and some say history is repeating itself, not only with newspapers and TV stations, but also with the social media platforms that billions of us use every day.
When Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter was finalized last October, he quickly instituted sea changes in Twitter's operations, which have become notorious for censoring off-narrative information and views.
Our first clue comes from what is known as the Twitter files. Between December 2022 and March 2023, a treasure trove of internal documents from Twitter was released.
My concern with Twitter was it is somewhat of the digital town square, and it's important that there be both the reality and perception of trust for a wide range of viewpoints. And there was a lot of censorship going on. And we sort of uncovered a lot of that with the Twitter files, including a lot of government-driven censorship, which,
These documents, shared by Elon Musk with select journalists, provided an unprecedented look into how content was moderated on the platform. And what they revealed was startling. Among the most shocking revelations were discussions around the banning of high-profile accounts, including that of the sitting U.S. President Donald Trump following the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot.
Tonight, a deafening silence from the president's Twitter account in his waning days as commander-in-chief. Twitter, run by CEO Jack Dorsey, saying after close review of the president's recent tweets, it banned him due to the risk of further incitement.
The documents show a complex web of public pressure, internal debates, and crucially, governmental influence that played a significant role in these decisions. It wasn't just Twitter making these calls. The government's fingerprints were all over them.
Some of the big questions raised by all of this: if the government is engaging in unconstitutional acts of censorship, who has the power to stop it? And how did the government's actions impact everything from our elections to the way COVID was mismanaged?
But Twitter wasn't the only platform feeling the heat.
They had an organized system for flagging content, not occasionally, but in enormous numbers, involving spreadsheets of accounts that ran to the hundreds and thousands.
In August 2024, Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta, formerly Facebook, wrote a letter to the U.S. House Judiciary Committee. We're talking about satire, humor, and even factual content that the administration found inconvenient. He also admitted that, looking back, the company should have handled the situation differently.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails. the emails are published. It's all kind of out there.
But the damage was done, and it begs the question: just how independent are these platforms when they can be pressured into censoring content? If you think that's bad, wait until you hear about the Hunter Biden laptop incident.
My name is Emma Jo Morris, politics editor at Breitbart. I'm here today because I published a series of news stories 3 years ago in October of 2020 about Hunter Biden's now infamous laptop, also known as the laptop from hell, which is seen as some of the most scandalous reporting of the last decade.
In the lead up to the 2020 election, Meta decided to temporarily demote a story about Hunter Biden's laptop. Why? Because the FBI had warned them about possible Russian disinformation campaigns.
While they're trying to push that program, they also tried to censor anyone who is basically arguing against it. And they pushed us super hard to take down things that were true.
The story was real, and Zuckerberg now admits this was a serious mistake.
What was more scandalous than the reporting itself, though, was the fact that it exposed the unholy alliance between the intelligence community, social media platforms, and legacy media outlets.
This incident adds another layer to the theory that the government might be pulling the strings behind the scenes. It's not just about what gets removed, it's also about what doesn't get seen, and that can be just as powerful. If you think this sounds like a lot of government overreach, you're not alone.
A House hearing about online censorship is getting more attention today because Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is among those testifying.
Kennedy and his organization, Children's Health Defense, sued the Biden administration, claiming that they were censored on social media platforms for their anti-vaccine stance during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. arrived Thursday morning on Capitol Hill to testify about online censorship.
The court sided with Kennedy, granting him the standing to sue the government. The court found that Kennedy's content was indeed targeted by government agencies, including the White House, leading to its suppression on social media. This ruling is a major victory for free speech advocates and sets a significant precedent.
Censorship is antithetical to our party. It was appalling to my father, to my uncle, to FDR, to Harry Truman, to Thomas Jefferson, as the chairman referred to.
Government influence over social media is not just a theory, it's a reality.
And no American would have any privacy left, such as the capability to monitor everything, telephone conversations, telegrams, it doesn't matter.
The parallels between Operation Mockingbird and today's social media landscape are hard to ignore. In both cases, the government seems to have found ways to influence the media, first through newspapers and TV, and now through tweets and posts.
If this government ever became a tyranny, if a dictator ever took charge in this country, the technological capacity that the intelligence community has given the government, there would be no place to hide.
And the implications are huge. If social media platforms can't remain independent, how can we trust the information we are being fed? Are we seeing the truth or just a version of it that has been carefully curated by those in power?
The Post published exactly how the material for the reporting was obtained, even identifying our sources, as well as a federal subpoena showing the FBI was in possession of the material the story was based on and had been since December of 2019.
The revelations from the Twitter files, Zuckerberg's letter, and the RFK Jr. court case underscore the need for greater transparency from social media companies. These platforms are more than just places to share memes and keep up with friends. They're now central to public discourse, and with that power comes responsibility.
But when the stories appeared on social media that morning, the venue where millions of Americans go to find their news and editors to get their angles, within hours, the reporting was censored on all major platforms on the basis of being called hacked or Russian disinformation.
As users, we need to demand that these platforms operate independently, free from government interference. It's time for us to be more critical of the content we consume and question where it's coming from. And for platforms themselves, the lesson from Operation Mockingbird is clear. The truth matters, and so does the integrity of the channels through which it is delivered.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. Oh, I know. CNN makes it. I know.
Was that supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
In the end, whether or not you believe the social media Mockingbird theory is up to you. But one thing is certain. The lines between government and media have become dangerously blurred, and it's up to us to keep them in check. The future of free speech and open discourse might just depend on it. So what do you think? Is this all just a conspiracy theory, or is there something more sinister at play? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive like this video about the original Operation Mockingbird. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep questioning the narrative.